Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Happy July 3rd. It's about 3 o'clock here on the East Coast. I go to work at 4, and I get up really, really early, like 2:30. So this is kind of a promotional video when it comes right down to it. And that is and tonight at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be running my session of our All-for-One Regime Diabolique Lights and Darkness campaign. I'm going to be running that for um, No Inquisitor and JDRD 30 and Runeslinger. So Sebastian and Francois and Anthony. And I've entitled this thing, given this thing the evocative title of A Dance with the Devil. So we'll find out what that means when you tune in at about 7 o'clock. We should be starting. Sometimes we start a little bit later, but about that time. Done a bunch of preparation for this. I actually got the two Richelieu's guides, number 2 and number 3, that are not available in print. They're only available in PDF. So I've got this Guide to Serious Situations, which I have to make some eyeball marks on during my lunch hour, see whether I'm going to use the mechanic in here or not. It's funny, Triple Ace Games does not offer these in print yet, and Anthony says, one day they probably will, which would be great. And imagine my surprise. I mean, they're great. I'm not knocking them at all, but they'll come in a one PDF format like a lot of their other books do. Literally, these are compilations of a bunch of little things that were available prior to, shoehorning them all together. So they kept them in these little PDFs. So there's they got respectively 8 or 7 of these darn things. So I printed out this Guide to Serious Situations, which if you watched Anthony's one shot he did with Sebastian, he actually, Jean-Marie ended up actually fighting a bunch of minions who all rolled as one. There's rules for that in here, and so I'm not sure if I'm going to use them today or not, but it's possible because there might be some mooks. no spoilers. So I got to read some of that during my lunch hour. I've got all my notes prepared here, about 11 pages. Pretty funny. I noticed this is only my second game that I've run on Google Hangouts. I ran that other Lamentations of the Elven Princess game for my friends. That was our little title for the Lamentations of the Flame Princess one shot we did. And I know some issues I had, and it's weird because here I am in my room. I got my table here, but then all the players are in this little teeny box. And it's just, there's this little bit of disconnect every once in a while between you and the players. And as you go and consult notes or whatever, I've got this other old desktop, so I've got the screen over here you can't see. And I'm scrolling back and forth in the document there. I didn't print anything out because I don't have a printer in my house right now. So didn't run down to Staples. This time I did. Because I found myself, there were things where it was comical because I had these NPCs and I didn't write their name down anywhere except on this document, so I'm scrolling back and forth. So I actually, literally at the end of all this stuff, had to make myself a who's who sheet. And I hang up somewhere or just reference because I tell you, it's funny, in the other game, I found myself forgetting the name of a couple, key non-player characters because they're somewhere down in the document. So a little comical. I noticed. I was telling Anthony I've got something like 11 non-player characters that are brand new, plus with a bunch of the already established ones, from the setting, from the ones that the other game masters have made up from actual real history, but 11 brand spanking new ones. It seems excessive, but then you realize I probably have that many in most of my games anyway. It's just I need to flesh these people out a little bit, establish some kind of relationships. I had 2 or 3 weeks to kind of think about and have these characters live in my head a little bit, and just kind of take on some personality, figure who the heck they are, and of course I have to stat them out because I might need their information, I might not. And it's not second nature like it is in something like an OSR game, or where if I need to make something up, I can make it up on the fly. I could here, but I wanted to use a little bit more. I want to play by the rules, and there's certain points, spreads, and whatnot that these characters get. So I want to make sure I did that and not just wing it off the top of my head. So I also, some of these pages here are actually literally some character sheets, or anyhow, that's a lot of information, but really it's promotional. This should be a lot of fun. It should be a real hoot. I want to talk about some of the things I did here another time. One of the things I made, one of my favorite things to do, which I haven't done for Ubiquity yet, and I haven't done in a while for any game, is the old party cheat sheet, which literally I've got all the party members, all their lackeys, all the stats, all the abilities. Why did I do that? I'll talk about that at a different time. But I always find it really neat to have something like that available for me. So that's another topic. I was going to talk about it now, but I figure I'd rather talk about it after the game and see, well, how did it work? In this particular situation, did I make use of it, or did it just lay on the table and not do anything with it at all? That's another weird thing because as you're game mastering Hangouts, I noticed every time you kind of look away and consult any kind of notes, you don't remember something, you're completely disengaged from the other players. It's not like you're just kind of looking down in a real room. You're completely disengaged. Very, very bizarre. So, anyhow, this is a promotional video, so go watch the game. It should be a lot of fun because, got an okay game master and 3 really good players. Take it easy, kids.